He feels pain from happiness. How this teen manages his life will leave you in tears. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Your subscription means everything to us. It's the only way to share stories of those who often remain silent, and it helps us continue our work. So please subscribe now. In a small, bustling town where laughter echoes in the streets and sunlight dances through the trees, lives a teenager named Lucas. He is an artist at heart, capturing the world around him with strokes of color and vivid imagination. Yet beneath his vibrant exterior lies a heart weighed down by paradox. Each moment of joy he experiences sends sharp pangs of pain through him, a bittersweet reminder of the fragility of happiness. Lucas walks the busy corridors of his high school, where laughter surrounds him like a warm embrace. Friends greet him with smiles, but he often feels like an outsider, caught between the joy of their company and the ache in his chest that follows. He watches his friends as they celebrate small victories, their cheers ringing out like a melody, while he grapples with the unsettling feeling that happiness comes with a price. At home, his room is a sanctuary filled with canvases and brushes, a world where he can express the tumult inside him. Yet, as he paints, each stroke feels like a release and a reminder of the joy he yearns for but fears. His mother often calls him to dinner, her voice filled with warmth and love, but even the simplest moments leave him grappling with the weight of his emotions. Lucas knows he is loved, but the shadows of his heart often cloud the light he desperately seeks. As the sun sets, casting a golden hue over the town, Lucas finds himself sitting on the roof of his house, gazing at the stars. Each twinkle seems to whisper secrets of happiness and heartache. And he wonders if anyone else feels the same way. The beauty of the night sky brings him comfort, yet it also amplifies his struggle. He wishes to embrace joy without the haunting whispers of sorrow. Lucas's journey is just beginning, a quest to navigate the complexities of his heart and find a way to live fully, even when happiness feels like it carries a hidden cost. Lucas's world was a canvas painted with contradictions. Each day seemed to blur the lines between joy and pain, as if he were caught in a delicate dance where every step forward echoed a haunting refrain. His friends were his lifeline, but the laughter that filled the air often felt like a distant melody, one he could hear but never truly join. In the bustling cafeteria, the aroma of food mingled with cheerful chatter. Lucas sat at a corner table, his sketchbook open in front of him. He half listened to his friends recount stories from their weekend escapades, their voices rising and falling like waves. Among them was Mia, vibrant and full of life, whose laughter was contagious. She leaned over, her eyes sparkling with mischief. You should have seen Jake's face when he tried to dance. It was priceless. Lucas forced a smile, but his heart tightened at the thought of Jake, their mutual friend, who had been battling his own hidden struggles. Yeah, I can imagine, he replied softly, trying to keep his voice steady. Mia noticed the shift in his expression, her playful demeanor fading slightly. Hey, you okay? You seem a bit distant. Just tired, he lied, shrugging it off. The weight of his emotions pressed down on him like a heavy cloud, and he hated how easily it could slip into their conversations, tainting the lightness they shared. As his friends continued to share their laughter, Lucas felt a familiar pang in his chest. Ah chokla, ah here, was a reminder of the happiness he craved but feared. He glanced around the cafeteria, noting the way everyone seemed to bask in the warmth of camaraderie, unaware of the storm swirling within him. After lunch, Lucas retreated to the art room, seeking solace among the colors and brushes that felt more like friends than people. The room was quiet, save for the soft rustle of paper and the occasional swish of paint on canvas. He set to work on a new piece, pouring his heart into the strokes. Lucas, that's amazing, came a voice from the doorway. It was Jake, his presence filling the room with warmth. You've really captured the essence of the sunset. Lucas looked up, meeting Jake's eyes. Thanks, man. Just trying to bring some light into this place. Jake's smile faltered for a moment, a shadow crossing his face. Light can be complicated, huh? Lucas nodded, understanding all too well. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it comes with strings attached. The two boys stood in a comfortable silence, both acutely aware of the weight of their unspoken truths. Jake was known for his infectious passion for music, but beneath that surface lay the same turbulent sea of emotions that Lucas often felt. Do you ever think about how we could use our pain to create something beautiful? Jake asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lucas's heart raced at the thought. You mean like channeling it into our art? Exactly, Jake replied, his eyes lighting up. What if we put on a show? A mix of your art and my music? We could create something that resonates with others who feel the same way we do. The idea hung in the air like a delicate thread, weaving through their shared experiences. Lucas felt a flicker of hope amidst the shadows. I'd love that. But what if people don't understand? What if they don't feel the same pain? Jake shrugged, a determined glint in his eyes. That's the risk we take. But maybe, just maybe, it could help someone else feel less alone. As they brainstormed ideas, Lucas felt a surge of excitement mixing with his usual trepidation. The prospect of sharing their struggles through art and music was daunting, yet exhilarating. Perhaps this was the path he had been searching for, the way to embrace his emotions, however painful, and transform them into something meaningful. Days turned into weeks as they prepared for the show. Their evenings were filled with laughter and creativity, crafting songs and paintings that told stories of heartache and hope. Each moment spent together felt like a balm for their souls, a reminder that they were not alone in their struggles. But as the date of the show drew closer, doubt began to seep in. Lucas found himself staring at his canvases, the colors swirling into a chaotic blend of emotions. What if the pain he felt was too raw, too real? What if sharing it only amplified the hurt? One evening, as they rehearsed in Jake's garage, Lucas's anxiety bubbled to the surface. What if no one shows up? What if we fail? Jake paused, his fingers stilling on the guitar strings. Or what if they do show up? What if it changes someone's life? Lucas met Jake's gaze, feeling the weight of those words. You really believe that? I do, Jake replied, his voice steady. Sometimes, it takes just one person to feel understood for everything to shift. Lucas took a deep breath, letting the words settle in his heart. Maybe this was their chance to connect with others, to create a space where pain could be shared and transformed into something beautiful. As the night of the show arrived, the air was thick with anticipation. Lucas stood backstage, his heart racing as he listened to the murmurs of the audience. He could feel the energy pulsing through the room, a mixture of excitement and anxiety. His friends had come to support him, their faces beaming with encouragement. Mia squeezed his hand, her eyes shining with pride. You've got this, Lucas. Just be yourself. With a shaky breath, Lucas stepped onto the stage, the spotlight illuminating his figure. As he looked out at the sea of faces, he felt both exhilarated and terrified. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the chance to share his truth. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. With Jake beside him, they began to weave their stories through music and art, allowing vulnerability to flow freely. Each note Jake played resonated with the audience, while Lucas's paintings captured the essence of their shared struggles. Together, they created a tapestry of emotions that echoed through the room, a reminder that even in pain, there is beauty to be found. As the final note hung in the air, Lucas felt a wave of relief wash over him. The audience erupted into applause, their cheers filling the space with warmth. In that moment, Lucas understood, happiness didn't have to be devoid of pain. It could exist alongside it, intertwined like threads in a tapestry, creating a narrative that was uniquely theirs. The journey had just begun, but Lucas finally felt a sense of hope. He was ready to embrace the complexities of his heart, ready to paint his world in colors of both joy and sorrow, knowing that each stroke was a testament to his resilience. Lucas and Jake's show had ignited a spark in their small town, a flicker of understanding and connection that filled the hearts of those who attended. The applause echoed in Lucas's mind, a sweet melody that danced with the bittersweet reminder of the pain they had channeled into their art. But just as the glow of success began to warm Lucas's heart, an unexpected revelation threatened to unravel everything. Days after the show, Lucas found himself in the art room, surrounded by the remnants of their performance. The walls were still adorned with their paintings, a visual diary of their struggles. He had been painting feverishly, poring over his canvas as he tried to capture the elation he felt from the night. Yet, something gnawed at him, a sense of unease that he couldn't quite place. That afternoon, Mia burst into the room, her face a mixture of excitement and concern. "Lucas, you need to see this," she exclaimed, holding out her phone. "What is it?" he asked, wiping paint from his hands and taking the device. As he scrolled through the video, his heart sank. It was a clip from their show. But not just any clip. The camera had caught a moment. Jake had flinched mid-performance, a brief expression of pain crossing his features as a wave of joy washed over him. The caption read, "The boy who smiles through pain." "What the?" Lucas whispered, his stomach twisting. He looked up at Mia, who was watching him closely. "Why didn't Jake tell me?" Mia's expression turned serious. I thought you knew, Lucas. Jake's condition. It's not just a quirk. He really suffers when he feels happy. The weight of her words crashed down on him like a tidal wave. I thought he was just being dramatic, you know? I mean, he seemed fine during the show. Mia shook her head. It's not always visible. Sometimes he puts on a brave face, but that doesn't mean he's not hurting inside. Lucas's thoughts spiraled. He had always viewed Jake's struggles as something they could overcome together, a shared experience they could transform into art. But now he felt a sense of betrayal. Had he been so wrapped up in their newfound success that he had overlooked Jake's pain? Does anyone else know? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I think a few people do, but it's not common knowledge. Jake likes to keep it that way. He doesn't want pity, he wants to be seen as a musician, not a victim. Lucas clenched his jaw, feeling the weight of his own ignorance. He had assumed that their struggles were universal. That everyone could relate to the pain they were expressing. But Jake's pain was different. It was a silent battle that was often masked by the joy of music. As the days passed, Lucas's heart grew heavy with guilt. He watched Jake from a distance, observing the moments when laughter would turn into a fleeting shadow of discomfort. They continued to create music and art, but Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that he was complicit in ignoring the deeper truths of Jake's life. One evening, Lucas decided to confront Jake. He found him sitting on the roof, guitar in hand, strumming a soft melody that floated into the night air. Lucas climbed up and sat beside him, silence stretching between them before he finally spoke. Jake, I saw the video from the show, he said cautiously. Jake's fingers stilled on the strings. Yeah. What did you think? I had no idea. I didn't know you were in so much pain during the performance. Jake sighed. His gaze fixed on the stars. It's just part of my life, Lucas. I've learned to deal with it. The music helps, you know? It's like a release. But why didn't you tell me? Lucas pressed, his voice tinged with frustration. I thought we were in this together. I didn't want to drag you down, Jake replied, a hint of sadness in his tone. I wanted you to focus on your art, on what we were creating together. I didn't want to be the reason you held back. Lucas felt a pang of sorrow for his friend. But you're not a burden. I would have understood. We could have worked through it together. Jake smiled sadly. Maybe, but I was afraid. I didn't want you to look at me differently. I didn't want our art to become about my pain instead of our shared experiences. A silence enveloped them, the weight of their unspoken truths hanging in the air. Lucas realized the depth of Jake's struggles. The layers of fear and vulnerability that had kept him silent. In that moment, the revelation shifted something within Lucas. It was time to confront his own assumptions. Jake, I've been selfish, Lucas admitted, his voice breaking. I've been so focused on my own journey that I didn't see yours. I thought I could just paint over everything, but art is meant to reflect reality, not mask it. Jake turned to him, a flicker of hope in his eyes. You're not selfish, Lucas. You're human. We all have our battles, and sometimes it's easier to focus on the light. But we can't ignore the shadows, Lucas insisted, determination rising within him. We need to create something that encompasses both, the joy and the pain, the light and the dark. It's time to tell our stories fully. As they sat together under the stars, Lucas felt a newfound sense of purpose. They would continue to create, but this time they would be honest about their struggles. They would share their truths, intertwining their experiences into their art, allowing their pain to resonate with others who felt the same. The next day they gathered their friends, including Mia, to discuss a new direction for their work. Lucas could feel the weight of their hidden fears starting to lift, replaced by a collective determination to be transparent in their art. I want to create a piece that captures not just the joy we've felt, but also the pain that often lurks beneath the surface, Lucas declared, his heart racing with excitement. Mia nodded enthusiastically. Yes. We can have open discussions about our experiences, create visual and musical expressions that embrace all of it. Jake chimed in, a spark igniting in his eyes. Let's do it. Let's show everyone that it's okay to feel pain, that it doesn't diminish our happiness. It's part of being human. As they brainstormed ideas, Lucas felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over him. They were no longer just two boys trying to navigate their joy and sorrow alone. They were a collective force, ready to share their truths with the world. In that moment, Lucas understood that pain and happiness were not opposing forces. They were two sides of the same coin. Together, they would create a masterpiece that would resonate with the hearts of others, transforming their struggles into a tapestry of hope and understanding. And as the sun set on their small town, Lucas felt a flicker of happiness ignite within him, a gentle reminder that even through pain light could still shine through. As Lucas and Jake ventured deeper into their creative journey, the air around them was charged with a newfound sense of purpose. They embraced the duality of their experiences, crafting art that spoke to the complexities of happiness and pain. The idea of merging their stories began to blossom, transforming their initial spark of inspiration into a full-blown creative movement that rippled through their town. The night of their second show arrived and the atmosphere was electric. Friends, family, and even strangers filled the room, eager to witness the evolution of their art. Lucas felt a mixture of nerves and excitement churning within him. This time, the spotlight held an entirely different weight. It was a chance to share the raw truth of their lives, to reveal the hidden struggles that lay beneath their smiles. As they took the stage, Lucas glanced at Jake, who was tuning his guitar, his expression a mix of determination and vulnerability. Lucas took a deep breath, feeling the presence of their friends behind them, a supportive force ready to uplift them. "Tonight we're not just sharing our art," Lucas began, his voice steady yet emotional. "We're sharing our truth. We want to show you that it's okay to feel pain, that joy can coexist with sorrow, and that we're all in this together." The audience responded with a ripple of applause, their energy palpable. Lucas could see the faces of those who had come to support them, each one representing a story of their own. The lights dimmed and Jake's fingers danced over the strings as he strummed the opening chords of their new song. The melody was haunting yet beautiful, weaving a tale of sorrow and hope. Lucas stepped forward, revealing his painted canvases, each one a reflection of their shared experiences, a kaleidoscope of emotions that resonated with the audience. As the music enveloped the room, Lucas felt the connection deepening. He could see people nodding, their expressions shifting as they absorbed the weight of the lyrics and the vibrant imagery before them. For the first time, Lucas understood the power of vulnerability. It was a bridge that connected their hearts to those of others. Midway through the performance, a hush fell over the audience as Jake shared his story. "I've learned to embrace the pain that comes with joy," he spoke, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "It's part of who I am and it's a part of our journey. We all hurt sometimes, but that doesn't mean we have to hide it. We can create beauty from our struggles." As he finished, a wave of applause washed over them, but it wasn't just for the performance, it was an acknowledgement of their bravery. Lucas felt tears prick at the corners of his eyes as he realized that they were not alone in their fight. The audience understood, they were connected through the shared experience of being human. After the show, as people mingled and shared their thoughts, Lucas and Jake found themselves surrounded by a small group of audience members who had been deeply moved by their performance. One girl stepped forward, her eyes glistening with emotion. "Thank you for sharing your stories. I thought I was the only one who felt this way. Your art made me feel seen." Lucas's heart swelled. "You're not alone," he replied softly. "We all carry our burdens, but together we can lighten the load." As the evening wound down, Lucas and Jake stepped outside, the cool night air wrapping around them like a blanket. They looked at each other, a mixture of relief and joy flooding through them. "We did it," Jake said, a smile breaking across his face. "We showed them the truth." Lucas nodded, feeling the weight of the world lift from his shoulders. "And in doing so, we've created something beautiful. This is just the beginning." But as they walked home, the shadows of their struggles lingered. Lucas couldn't shake the thought of Jake's pain. It was a reminder that the road ahead might be fraught with challenges, but they would face them together. In the days that followed, their collaboration evolved into a community project. A safe space for others to share their stories, express their emotions and create art that reflected their truths. Workshops flourished, and the town became a mosaic of shared experiences, where laughter and tears mingled freely. Lucas and Jake became advocates for mental health awareness, using their platform to empower others to embrace their emotions. They spoke openly about their journeys, encouraging everyone to find beauty in their struggles and to seek help when needed. The ripple effect of their project spread far beyond their small town. People from all walks of life began to connect, sharing their stories through art and music, creating a tapestry of resilience that resonated globally. Lucas often reflected on how that initial show had transformed not just their lives but the lives of countless others. The boy who hurt when he smiled became a symbol of strength, a reminder that pain is a part of life, but so is joy. As the sun set on their small town, Lucas and Jake stood on the rooftop where it all began, gazing at the stars. "We've come a long way," Lucas said, a sense of peace washing over him. "Yeah, and it's only the beginning," Jake replied, strumming his guitar softly. And as the music floated into the night, they knew they had created a legacy, a testament to the beauty that emerges when we dare to share our truths, pain and all. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to subscribe for more incredible stories like this one. Because in the end, it isn't just about happiness or sorrow, it's about the journey we take with others, the connections we forge, and the resilience we find within ourselves. Lucas and Jake had learned to embrace the paradox of their emotions, and in doing so, they found a way to create art that resonated with the deepest parts of the human experience.